Solar flash ascension is here. We are experiencing it right now. Ascension symptoms are exploding for all starseeds and light workers. This is our last chance for an easy ego death. The way to accomplish this is to question your reality and then change it. As for me, I am coming for the elites. Nothing can stop me. Nothing can save them. Hello and welcome back to the Thunder Wizard YouTube channel. It's happening. I don't know what you're experiencing, but I am experiencing such incredibly intense energy. And I am at a place where I am incapable of tolerating anymore the third dimensional consensus. And I feel as though, energetically speaking, I have my back up against the wall. And there's only one thing left to do, and that is to do the spiritual work that is in front of us, to change the frequency with our intentions, and to use our minds and to use our energy in meditation only, in no other way but in our meditative practice, to completely destroy the third dimension as we have experienced it up until now. And unfortunately, there are dark forces that are working against the human soul and working against human freedom and human awakening. And make no mistake, these dark forces have declared war on the human soul. And so the only thing left for us to do is to meet that energy with spiritual warfare. So bear in mind, every time that we do these live guided interdimensional meditations, we are energetically attacking the evil dark forces that are seeking to destroy the human spirit. So I just wanted to share with you my thought process about this. And this is exactly how I am feeling right now. When I made this thumbnail, that is exactly how I'm feeling. And these meditations that we're doing are having real effects. And we just had one, today is Friday, we just had one on Wednesday. And I don't know yet, but all I know is what I'm feeling energetically ever since that meditation. The energy has been almost unbearable with the intensity that I'm feeling. And I'm really having to stop and make sure that I don't act out in really destructive ways. I've been communicating with people who are going through the same kinds of things. I respond in my way, which is I get like a warrior. I get focused on who is my enemy and how can I defeat them. For other people, they're going to experience it in their way. Some people are going to have anxiety. Some people are going to have fear. Some people are going to have a lot of sadness come up. Some people are going to be confused. Some people, and confusion, I think, is a big thing right now for people who are just waking up. Because what's happening is that your unconscious mind is scrambling to try and grab onto something that it recognizes that it can hold on to. Your spirit, which is not connected to your human mind, is starting to wake up and tell you that reality is different than the way you've perceived it. Reality is completely different from the way that it is being presented to you. And even understandings from a spiritual perspective are completely being demolished and destroyed. My experience of first, of course, religion, which I walked away from in my early 20s, which, I found to be incredibly damaging to the psyche and to the soul. But even normal spiritual understandings that uh, come from spiritual sciences that I respect, like the Taoist and the Vedic and other spiritual sciences like that. Even the understandings and the rules, so to speak, of how the world works and what the soul is completely, totally being flipped on its head, being exploded for me. And what is happening, as I've said many times, for the first time in human history, human beings in their third dimensional avatars walking around on Earth, for the first time, are having access to their fifth dimensional self. And this knowledge is coming at us. It's barreling towards us with these solar storms that are hitting us. Let's back up again. If you're new to the channel, we are in the midst of what has been called the solar flash event. The solar flash event is not one event. It is a series of solar events, and they have been increasing since December of 2022. Probably since before then, but that's when it really started ramping up. And then it's been ramping up and then slowing down and ramping up and slowing down. And now it is really ramping up. The most recent wave of solar storms that hit us last week or whenever it was the biggest solar event in the last 20 years. And scientists are realizing that it was as big as the Carrington event that everybody was afraid of, but it didn't cause any of the damage that we were afraid was happening. Now, if what happened on Wednesday, if you haven't watched it, go back and watch the live guided interdimensional meditation from Wednesday. If you haven't watched that, watch that, because I believe my prediction is that from that meditation, we're going to see an even bigger event. I'm not making any psychic predictions. This is just my feelings based on our history with this, as well as what I'm feeling right now. And, I'm keeping my eyes on, things that are coming up in terms of what people are saying about what the sun is doing. And apparently there is an absolutely huge solar, what are these things? It's like the sunspot. There's a huge sunspot where two have come together, and if I heard the most recent news accurately, it's enormous. And if that one, when it gets to Earth and it faces Earth, if it goes off, it's going to be off the charts. So my prediction is that there's very likely this weekend going to be another huge solar event. And it just so happens we're going to be doing a live interdimensional meditation tomorrow. So I am all in for this. What does this mean? It means that we, and I haven't even gone into in this video what the light beings have been telling me. They've been silent since our last, to me anyways, they've been silent since our last interdimensional meditation. But and partly the reason for that is because my energy has been so intense. I don't know that they can get through because of all the intensity that I'm feeling. But I think part of it is that they're giving me some space to metabolize all of this change that we've brought. But what they've said up until this point is that the solar flash comes as a result not of the universe doing it and us waiting around for it. The solar flash event comes when we cooperate with the opportunity that the universe provides energetically. And that is what is happening. If my interpretation of what light beings have told me is true, it is we who have done these meditations that have actually kickstarted it. In fact, the first time, way back in 2022, the first time that we did the live guided interdimensional meditation, and just on a whim, I decided to go take us to the sun and send energy from the sun. When I did that, their response was absolutely overwhelming, and it took me a while to hear, and they didn't push it on me because I think they wanted me to be ready for it. But they were then very clear at one point, and they said, "You're the one that's bringing these solar events." And by me, I mean us. We are the ones that are doing it. And so I've come to find out that our power lies in our astral bodies. So if you want to know where your power comes to manifest, it doesn't come from your brain. It doesn't even come from your, superficial intention. It doesn't come from having positive, self-statements. There's nothing wrong with any of those things, but that's not where your real power lies. Your real power lies when you disconnect from your 3D mind and you go into your astral body. We can call that shamanic journeying, deep levels of meditation, altered states of consciousness, however you want to look at it. And by the way, to do that without any external input, if you do it, by ingesting hallucinogens, you'll have an experience, but you really won't have any control over what you're intending. So do it with your full conscious awareness, and then learn these methods that I'm teaching you here at the thunderwizard.com, all the stuff that I've been teaching you over the years. Use those techniques to put you in that altered state. And that altered state is to be in your astral body. Now, when we go into our astral bodies, we are in our actual bodies. Our astral bodies are more real than our physical bodies. And we don't experience that because our perception is focused here in our 3D experience. So when we meditate and we go out into our astral bodies, we have a vision, or we feel it, or it's sort of, we're trying to see what's going on. That's because our perception is here. But out there, beings that live in higher dimensions, fifth dimensional beings, higher dimensional extraterrestrials, deities, gods, angels, those beings, when we do these practices, we show up and we are solid. We are real beings, and we are much more powerful in that state than we are in our third dimensional state. And so I have come to become aware for myself that in my astral state, I am incredibly powerful. And I'm saying that, expressing my understanding so that you'll have that experience for yourself. When you go, this is why when we do the interdimensional meditations and I tell you to ask the beings to show you how they see you, because I want you to see that they don't see you the way you see yourself. You see yourself out there meditating as this little, maybe fuzzy puffball or something like that. They don't see that. And so all that you need to know from what I'm saying is that if you make the decision to decide to manifest something in alignment with your soul and you're in your astral body, there is nothing that can stop you. And so when we align ourselves and we do these live guided, meditations together, and we are doing what the universe has said it wants to do, which is to bring this ascension event. When we bring our astral body and we bring our intention to that, nothing can stop it. So I want you to have this experience of yourself. This is how I'm feeling right now. This is how I'm feeling right now. That nothing can stop me. And nothing can save the elites, the dark forces. Nothing can save them. They can do whatever they want here on planet Earth, for at least for the time being. But they don't have any defenses against your astral projections. They don't have any defenses against it. And when we align our intentions with the intentions of the universe, when we align our intentions with the intentions of light beings in higher dimensions, and we focus that energy onto Earth to destroy the infrastructure of the dark forces, there is nothing they can do to prevent it. They cannot defend themselves. I could go deeper into stuff, but I'm not going to do that because this is YouTube. And I'm here to focus on what my job is. And so my job is to, now, my main focus is to do these meditations and to give people the tools so that they can be more powerful than ever. And I want to give you permission to stop trying to manifest little things here and there in your life. And the reason for that is, normal manifestation that has been going on, that I've been a part of, that, whatever they call that, you know what I'm talking about, the law of attraction and other kinds of manifestation methods. What I've come to realize is that the manifestation methods we've been using up until now have been ways that we negotiate with the third dimensional prison. And so, like when, really influential, like mafiosos or gang members, they end up in prison. They end up getting power in prison to the point where, they're still in prison, but they're able to get one section of the prison to themselves, and they can get televisions and, they can have, hookers come in, and they can have, they have all kinds of, all the food that they want, but they can't leave the actual prison. That's what manifestation is like. When you're trying to manifest more money, better job, a new television, a new car, you are still saying, I am allowing myself to live in this 3D prison where narcissistic dark forces are controlling me on every level, and you're still negotiating with a narcissist. When what we should be intending is what we deserve. And what we deserve is complete autonomy. We deserve to live in a world where only we decide what we want, that nothing and nobody can tell us what to do, where to go. We should not be limited by anything outside of us, like money, reputation, jobs. None of these things should limit anything. We should be able to experience and have absolutely everything we desire. And no human being should live on this planet in fear. No human being should grow up on this planet having to figure out how to survive, because it's ridiculous. We live on a planet that has more resources than even the amount of people that are on the planet now. There are more than enough resources for everybody. There's more than enough technology that we have not been given access to. Free, zero-point technology. Spiritually speaking, we now have access to everything and anything we could possibly want. All of the dimensions are open in front of us. And it is our time now. As the Hopis called it, they said, we're moving out of the age of the animal into the age of the human being. So what is an animal? An animal is a physical being that lives on its instincts, and it has to survive. That's an animal, and that's what we do. When we get up every day and we worry about how much money we have, what kind of job do we have to do? How can I take care of myself? How do I avoid this? How do I avoid those people? How do I avoid these dangers? How do I keep myself healthy? How do I get access to food? How do I get access to all that stuff? We're living like animals, and we're in a prison. So we are now in a position where we can get rid of all of that. And now I know exactly how to do it. It's the simplest thing. It's the simplest thing in the world. It's just doing these interdimensional meditations. You can do it by yourself, but when we do it together, the power increases exponentially. And I'm here to tell you that nothing can stop us. Nothing. So I invite you to join me on that. So let's take a look again. I want you to have an idea of the world we're going to create. We've been talking up until now. What is 5D? What is 5D going to be like? As though it's something that has been created for us that we walk into. And that's not what 5D is. 5D, by the way, is just a word. The fifth dimension is something, it's so far beyond anything in the third dimension, we can't even comprehend it. I don't believe that the ascension is actually going to be the fifth dimension, because that's a whole other scientific thing. But I do believe that it will be a very high vibrational frequency of the third dimension, where we can intend whatever we want, where we will have bodies that are perfect. There will be no disease, where we will be filled with nothing but joy and love and camaraderie and empathy, and that every single other being, conscious being on the planet, will be our family member whom we love and trust. We will be able to live in harmony with our own souls. We will be able to have direct contact with all other conscious beings, which includes your ancestors who have passed away. You'll have direct access to them, at the very least on a meditative level. I know, because I have it now. I can communicate with all of my dead relatives. They're not dead. They're fully alive and functioning, and they have bodies, and they can be whatever they want. I have relatives who have passed away who are literally stars now. They've decided they want to be a star. This is the kind of, you can have access to all of that. I'm in direct communication with the moon, with the sun, with the earth, with, this is where we can go. And so instead of being in this half and half, which is where I'm at, and many of you are kind of in between worlds, where we have to deal with this 3D nonsense, and at the same time we're connected to higher dimensional understandings, let's finish the job. Let's completely, totally destroy the third dimension as we have understood it, and create a higher frequency of the third dimension, where there is no crime, there is no violence, there is no need for banks, there is no need for governments, there is no need for police, there is no need for paying money to function, there's no need to have an economy. We are in direct connection with not only the planet, but with the consciousness behind everything. Let's create that. So have that in your mind. Let's go over what I would like to bring. You can create your own reality. You don't have to have mine. But let me see, where is it? What did I do with it? Solar Flash 5D Earth Intention Goals. Achieve a conscious connection with your eternal soul. Create a frequency where narcissistic abuse is impossible. Narcissistic abuse is anything that makes you feel less than. Anything that makes you feel unworthy, unloved, frightened, insecure. Anything. When you sit there and you feel this need to go make more money, that is a result of being narcissistically abused. We live in a universe that will treat us the same way a loving parent would if we were an infant. If you had a need, your mother would provide that. All your mother wants to know is what you need. She will give it to you. And we live in a universe that has access to everything that we could possibly want and need. Every single desire that we have can be met completely. And so to live in a world where you have to worry about whether or not you get your desires met is a narcissistic world. Now, make no mistake, I'm not talking about being an entitled, demanding, narcissistic child. That's something else. People have asked me things like, when we talk about soul desire, people say, I don't know what my soul desire is, or they say, what if somebody's soul desire is to, be abusive to somebody else? Your soul is incapable of wanting anything that causes harm to you or anybody else. People have asked, what if my soul desire is to, smoke crack all day? That's not your soul desire. That comes from childish, narcissistic, entitled dysfunction. So don't make the mistake of that. But know that every one of your true desires, your true needs, the most important thing you can do in this existence is to meet all of your needs and all of your desires. Because you cannot harm any other being when you fulfill yourself. Just like when, if a plane is crashing and you've got a child with you, you don't take the oxygen mask and put it on the child first. You put it on yourself first so that you can breathe, and then you take care of your child. And so we need to be focusing on taking care of our needs. And the first thing is to honor all of your desires, all of your needs. Your need to be seen, your need to be loved, your need to be accepted, your need to be respected, your need to be honored, your need to be, fill in the blank. Your needs are not wrong. Your desires are not wrong. So we're going to create a frequency where narcissistic abuse is impossible. We're going to create a frequency where self-devaluation is impossible. We're going to create a frequency where spiritual awareness is rewarded. There was a time, thousands of years ago, where if you were born with spiritual gifts, the community, the tribe, the village would separate you and then treat you with respect. We still, when we look at, Gandalf the wizard, and, he's treated with such respect, it's because that's what people used to do. But now, if you're born and you're empathic, you're born with psychic abilities, you're born with healing abilities, you're born with knowledge and awareness, intuition, you are shunned, you are treated like you're crazy, you're put on medication, people tell you to stop fantasizing and grow up. You're abused for your spiritual awareness. So we're going to create a frequency where the opposite happens. The more spiritually aware you are, the more you will be revered and rewarded by society. Live in a world where your happiness is the most important goal. Live in a world where your eternal value is never questioned. The only thing that you are required to do is to exist. And existing is the most valuable thing about you, because your existence comes from consciousness. We call it God. We worship God. Well, God is your consciousness. The consciousness within you is as powerful as, if you were to look at the God in the heavens, there is no difference between that and the soul within you. So we live in a world where your eternal value is never questioned. We live in a world where your freedom is never in question. To live in a world where your safety is never in question. You never have to worry again about being physically, emotionally, psychologically, or otherwise assaulted or damaged. That is 5D. And that is where other beings live that are outside of the third dimension. We can bring this to this world if we decide. But I recommend that you take on the same attitude I have, which is that nothing is going to stop you, and that nothing is going to save the dark forces that are trying to prevent us from having our true destiny. Which means no more negotiation, no more compromise. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm not telling you to vote for a candidate. I'm not telling you to go and protest. I'm not telling you to break the law. I'm not telling you to act out in any way towards anything or anybody. What I'm telling you to do is to make this internal decision within yourself and then do these meditations. Do them by yourself, have your own practice, and then do it with us and get as many people as you can. That's my goal. My goal is to have hundreds, thousands, millions of people doing these. We might not even need to do that. We might bring the solar flash event just with the 30 or 100 that, do these live meditations with us. Doesn't matter. I know that we have the ability, and I am completely, totally committed to making this happen. And I invite you to come along with me. Let's completely destroy this negative third dimensional reality. Third dimensional reality, I'm going to make a video again of what I know about the true history of Earth, the true history of the third dimension, the true history of souls, all of that. I'm going to make another video of that based on what I've learned over the past couple of years interacting in higher dimensional levels. But I kind of forgot what I was saying. But we're going to create that. We can create it. Nothing can stop us. Nothing. No matter what anything or anybody could do to you, they can't stop you from doing these interdimensional meditations. Nothing can stop you. And when you are out there in your astral body, you are more powerful than any living human being, army, government. You are more powerful than anything on this third dimensional Earth. The dark forces don't realize that. The dark forces are scared to death of leaving the third dimension, which is why they're trying to stop the solar flash event from happening. You want to know why you were forced to stay inside for years outside of the sun? Because they know it's coming. All right. What were we talking about? Was it this? No. This. Live in a world where your safety is never in question. Live in a world where all people are your family. No one is ever discarded. In this new world, you will never have to worry about being loved or accepted ever again. You'll never have to worry about being isolated. You'll never have to worry about being alone. You'll never have to worry about what people have to worry about now. I'm old enough now that these fears are starting to pop into my head. I've seen the videos where, elderly people who don't have any money and were in the hospital because they couldn't pay their bills were thrown out on the sidewalk in the middle of winter. Happens all the time. There are people that are forced into horrible homes to get old and die. There are people that are sick. There are people who are poor. There are homeless people. All of this stuff is completely unnecessary. And we're going to create a world where that never has to happen. That no matter where you are with family. No matter where you are loved and accepted. No matter where you are in the entire multiverse, you will be loved and accepted, and you are a part of everyone's family. This used to be like this. My ancestors, it was a spiritual rule, a couple thousand years ago in the Germanic tribal areas before Christianity came in. If a stranger knocked on your door, you were required to take them in and feed them and give them a place to sleep. If a stranger knocked on your door and there was something that was, it didn't matter what it was, and they looked at something and said, wow, that's beautiful, you had to give it to them. That was our European ancestors used to do that. They used to know that. Used to understand that. And, people, nobody took advantage of anybody. If somebody offered you, a place to live and stay, you would ask if there was something you could do. Could I go and help in the field? Could I do something? We treated each other with love and respect. This was something that used to be part of being a human being. And we have the word humanity and humanely. Because to be a humane person means to have love and acceptance and empathy for everybody, no matter who they are, no matter what has happened to them. And we're going to create a world where that happens, where nobody is discarded. Everybody is your family. Live in a world where your only requirement is to express your soul. The only thing you have to do is just be your true, honest self and release the things within you that you want to express to the world. It's your only requirement, and you will be rewarded for that. People, it's the most beautiful gift you can give to anything, is to just be your honest and true, authentic self. In the world we live now, that's the fastest way to get attacked, is to be, vulnerable and expose your true self to the world. We're going to create a world where that never happens. And in the world that we're going to create, you will feel so loved that you won't be able to help but express the truth of your soul wherever you go. And live in a world where all conscious life forms are welcome. We're going to create a world where beings from other planets are going to come and share their knowledge and share their experience and learn from us because of what we've been through in this third dimensional experiment. By the way, the most powerful beings in the world, and literally every single other extraterrestrial civilization, every other being and other civilizations look upon you, no matter who you are, no matter how unsuccessful you are, no matter how many problems you have, no matter how evil or wrong or destructive you've been, they look upon you as the most powerful and brave being that has ever existed. The majority of the beings in our multidimensional reality do not have the bravery to come to Earth because they know how difficult it is. And we're going to live in a world, we're going to create a vibration of reality where we will be treated like the royalty that we are. And people will come from other dimensions, other planets, other civilizations, and they will treat you with tremendous respect, and they will seek out your advice about how to live their true intentions, how to be their true self. And we will seek them out. And we will learn and relearn again what it's like to live in a multiverse where the rule is love and empathy and compassion and camaraderie. We will learn from them. They will teach us their technologies. They will help us to release the technology we already have that has been kept from us by the dark forces. I am not going to accept anything less than perfection. The world that I'm going to create is going to be perfect. And there is not going to be anything destructive. Doesn't mean that we won't have things to learn, but learning will be pleasurable. Challenges will be fun. And that's what we can look forward to with our children going forward, is that they will be born into worlds where life is an adventure and life is fun, and they can be and do whatever they choose. This is what I am going to create, and I am going to put all of my effort into it. And right now, we have our own third dimensional things that are blocking us, which is being destroyed by these solar waves that are hitting us. And at this moment as I speak, there are dark forces ruling the planet and ruling our consensus and our mind frame. But my thought, now that I know the power of these live interdimensional meditations, these guided meditations, now I am coming for them. And nothing can stop me. And nothing can save them. And I invite you to come along with me. Having said that, if you're new to the channel, the best way that you can support this channel, number one, is to do these live guided interdimensional meditations. If you are doing these meditations and you are having experiences, and everybody I talk to, when they do them, they have experiences and they start to think that they're losing it because things are so strange, we have live Zoom class and discussion group, which you can go subscribe at thunderwizard.com. There's 2 ways to do it. If you're already my apprentice, there's a way that you can subscribe at that level. If you're not my apprentice, you're still welcome. You can subscribe. You can go and look for those at the thunderwizard.com website. And if you want to look at all the ways that you can support the channel, the first one is, of course, to subscribe, like, and comment here at the Thunder Wizard YouTube channel. Hit the bell button. Do the live interdimensional meditations as often as possible. Follow and like the Path of the Thunder Wizard on Facebook. Share the Thunder Wizard YouTube video links and Facebook posts on all of your social media. Subscribe to the thunderwizard.com Patreon site. There's, if you want to support the channel and you're not right now looking to take any of the courses, there's a Fan of the Thunder Wizard level, which just a few bucks a month will come to me. And literally, if everybody that was subscribed to the thunderwizard.com website, forget about the YouTube channel, the thunderwizard.com website, if you wanted to, if everybody that was on there subscribed for free was just giving a few bucks a month, I'd never have to worry about income ever again until we get out of this crazy third dimensional thing. So that's very helpful as well. And browse the thunderwizard.com shop for advanced practices. So the shop looks like this. You go to thunderwizard.com and you'll see Home Collections Shop. Click on Shop and then you'll see video courses and teachings. And if you scroll down, you will see these energetic teachings. And I recommend, if you're absolutely new, start with the Maoshan Summoning the Immortals. If you can feel the energy from that, then you can go to Celestial Qigong, or you can go to the Maoshan 5 Elements, or the other energy practices that are there. Those will give you the tools to allow you to handle these energies that are hitting us. And the energies that are hitting Earth are going to increase. There's plenty of free stuff on the channel, the YouTube channel itself. You can take advantage of those as well. No matter who you are, I'm determined to make sure that you have whatever you need. So there it is, my friends. Thank you so much for showing up. We are going to, God's willing and the creek don't rise, we are going to have another solar flash meditation event, a live guided interdimensional meditation. And I invite you to show up. And let's keep our eyes out. But I still haven't seen what's happened. Here's what I think probably happened as a result of the last meditation. So the last meditation that we did was very powerful. And the intention was to increase the solar radiation hitting Earth. Now what I think happened is that there's a sunspot, because the sun is rotating around. And so now it's facing away from Earth. But from what I understand, there's a monster sunspot that has come together, which when it turns around and faces Earth has the potential to release unbelievable amounts of energy. So my prediction is that we set that in motion. And then perhaps by the time we do our live meditation tomorrow, we'll see. Maybe we'll release, maybe we'll bring the event. Who knows? I'm prepared to do that. I'm ready to do it today. If I knew that all I had to do was flip a switch and create the event, I would. Bear in mind though, it's going to be challenging. You will have to face your 3D attachments. You will. And so very quickly, let's look at what the ascension symptoms are. Ascension symptoms, where are they? Intense anxiety. So just flow with it. I was feeling that today and I had to stop and meditate. Emotional sensitivity. I'm definitely feeling that. I'm wanting to pop off and lose my temper on people, for minor little things. Fears and paranoia, worrying about your money, worrying about your health, worrying about the world, worrying about wars. Increased spiritual awareness. You're going to find yourself having more psychic experiences and synchronicities, and angel numbers, and all that kind of stuff. Physical detox symptoms. This is a result of your nervous system releasing things that are preventing you. You know, by the way, the food that we eat, the drugs, the alcohol, cigarettes, caffeine, all the things that people do, all that stuff that we ingest, you know, most of that is designed to dull our experience so that we can just accept reality. But reality is changing, and we have to see it for what it is. So when you get hit with this energy, one of the first things that can happen is your body's going to detox, because your nervous system wants to be clean and pure. So you can get ahead of it by knocking off all of that. Stop, get rid of all the chemicals, get rid of the cigarettes, get rid of the THC, get rid of the alcohol, get rid of anything else, get rid of the fast food, the junk. You know, I'm not saying, listen, I'm not perfect either. I like having, you know, cinnamon toast, and, you know, so I'm not just sitting around eating celery all day. But get rid of the garbage stuff that you know is getting in your way. Dreams and visions are very likely to happen. Spiritual visitations, so it's very likely that higher dimensional beings will come and show up and interact with you. You might physically experience them. Like you might physically experience something touching you. You know, it all depends on whether or not you're open to it. I don't like it, so they don't touch me. But other people, you know, they'll hold your hand, they'll touch you, they'll hug you. It all depends on you. So you might have some kind of, at the very least, spiritual visitation. You'll get some telepathic messages. I encourage you to be open to it. It's okay to be afraid. If you find yourself being afraid, here's what you do. You do what I did when you watch my video, How I Became an Extraterrestrial. You can look for it on my YouTube channel under the Alien playlist. I said over and over, I'm afraid, I'm afraid. So if you feel frightened, tell them. I say, I'm afraid. Can you just help me with this? It's okay. It's okay to be afraid. If you decide to push them away, they'll leave you. But if you want to have the experience and go through it, acknowledge your fear and say, I'm afraid. Can you help me with my fear? And they will. Very likely there's confusion because you're in two worlds. You've got a third dimensional brain that's trying to tell you what reality is, and your experience, and your soul and your astral body is telling you, no, reality is completely different, and so you're going to be confused. You might think you're losing it. That's again why we have this live Zoom discussion group, so that people can get together and, you know, reality check, and you'll find out you're not crazy. Reality is changing. Reality is different than what you thought. And these experiences are real. Let's see, what am I looking for? And then finally, feeling that you're in two worlds, because you are. Because right now what is happening is that we are experiencing, where is it? We are experiencing this. We are experiencing an ascension event. We are inside of that prism, and you can see that the light, which is our third dimension, is beginning to fracture into different frequencies. And so you are actually in two different worlds. You're still in the third dimension, but a part of you is in this new 5D reality that's being made. The people who are resisting and the dark forces, they're splitting off and they're going deeper into a lower world. So, you know, you are in two different places. If you feel like you're in two worlds, it's because it's true. So the thing to do is become aware of that. Make the decision on the world that you want to be in. And if you're doing these live guided interdimensional meditations, you're choosing to create 5D. So you've already put your order in. I want to be in 5D. So if you keep focusing on it, guaranteed that's where you're going to go. Don't worry about your ascension symptoms. Don't worry about being emotional or angry or crying or flipping out. I'm flipping out. Don't worry about that. It just means that something's going on. Try and take it as, if you were going to go get high somewhere and it would start kicking in, starting to kick in. That feeling of it flipping out is, it's starting to kick in. Let's relax into this. And then flow with it. All right, that's it, my friends. I love you all. I will see you all very soon. Remember, you are the most important thing that has ever existed. The world was created for you, and you deserve complete, total happiness. And when you make the decision that you are going to have that and nothing is going to prevent you from having that, you will. And this is what we're going to do together. So I invite you to take on my attitude, which is I am coming for the elites. Nothing can stop me and nothing can save them. I'll see you very soon. Please take very good care of yourselves, my friends. Yeah, that's it. I'll see you all very soon. Take care.